It's that shit go, no, she my flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's that.
A short recap about yesterday's class. See, that only I told you. With respect to yesterday's class, we have discussed the increment and the decrement operators, unary operator, that is a plus plus, minus minus, pre-increment, post-increment. We have seen an example also on that particular operators. Then there was a question in a chat box for explanation of a bit operators. So we have started with a bit operators, bitwise operators. We have discussed a not. We have discussed a not expression. We have discussed a shift, how that particular left shift, right shift kind of a thing will can occur. Then I gave a small. We have discussed this particular operators, unary operator and or. Then I spoke of something with respect to a shift right, then shift left. I gave a assignment saying that you just cross check what is the difference between a shift right and a shift right zero fill. With respect to the same thing, I have shared a document also in the Java group. That is what we have discussed with respect to last class. So in the today's class, whichever topic we are going to discuss, that is very important. And most of the times, if you are not take caring of this particular aspect, that means whatever we are going to discuss now, if you are not taking care of that particular aspect, then your program itself will not compile properly. There will be so many errors with respect to a calculation, right? So about what I am talking about, I am talking about something called as a type conversion and casting. Okay, heard about these particular names anywhere before? Type conversion and a casting. Okay, even if you didn't heard also, after looking at a heading, can you guess something what might be this particular topic is talking about? What might be the type? Type in the sense, can I say data types like float, char, all those things? Yes, obviously that is the type. Okay, conversion in the sense, if you have a requirement of a converting a one type to another type, that means a int to float, float to int, or some other thing like a double to float, float to double, right? All those things is nothing but a type conversion, right? And what do you mean by a casting? Casting in the sense, what is the general meaning of a casting? Casting in the sense choosing in the sense, I want to choose what kind of a value I require explicitly, right? Conversion means it will be doing implicitly, right? From int to from a float, from float to int, can we convert a values? A float can be converted to int. Okay, can we put integer into a float?
No, sir.
Integer into float.
Yes, sir, we can.
Integer into float you can put, right? No need to specify explicitly that you take a integer value and put it into a float. No need to specify that thing explicitly. Integer can be directly put into a float, right? So in these scenarios, we are going to talk about a type conversion in a reverse scenario. That means if you are interested to put some floating point value into a integer, then we are talking about what is called as casting. I hope a heading made it clear. What I mean to say is, if I am writing int a is equal to 20.5, this is invalid. You cannot assign some floating point value to an integer. But at the same time, if you are writing a float x is equal to 10, this is a feasible, no problem. That 10 will be obviously into a 10.0000, right? If this is the case, that means, can I say that the range of a int will be a small when compared to a float, right? When a smaller value, in the sense I am talking about a size, when a smaller size content has been put into a bigger size content. Hope you get the idea of that particular bottles example what I told. If a smaller range value has been put into a bigger range value, nothing will happen, right? So this is called as implicit type conversion. Okay, be clear with the sentence. What I'm saying is implicit type conversion, because 10 is an integer data type that can be easily put into a float, right? So which is having a bigger space when compared to integer. No problem. This is implicit type conversion. Say for example, right, by some way, I'll not going to discuss in a what way. Say in some way, if I am able to put the value of 20.5 into an integer, right? Even though if I put this particular value, ultimately the value of a will be just a 20 but not a 20.5, right? So this particular 0.5 will be lost. Okay, if I say that particular some way is this one, now what I'm saying is this particular 20.5 need to be converted to integer. This has to be given to a variable called a, right? Even this case also, you are trying to convert some fraction value to an integer. When you are converting a fraction value to the integer, then the fractional part will be discarded, right? Are we explicitly specifying that this particular fraction need to be converted to integer? Are we explicitly specifying that this particular fraction need to be converted to an integer? Previously we didn't write any float here. Now we are writing something called as an integer, saying that whatever value you have, converted that one to an integer now. Okay, when you are telling explicitly saying that this value I need to convert to an integer, then this one is called as explicit type casting. Right, casting in the sense you are choosing which data type you want to convert into. Clear with both the names, implicit type conversion, explicit type casting. Shall we proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Yes. One more thing what we need to see is in an implicit type conversion, are we putting a smaller value into a bigger content, means bigger space? Yes, we are doing the same thing. So it is called as widening conversion, because you are putting a content into a bigger space now. It is called as widening conversion. Again started your bloody activities. Okay. Explicit type conversion in the sense bigger value you are putting into a smaller space, right? So this is called as narrowing conversion. Are you clear with the terminologies? One is implicit type conversion, the next one is explicit type conversion. Implicit type conversion can be called as a widening conversion, and the explicit type conversion can be called as narrowing conversion. If you are clear with these things, we'll see the points which I have written in the slide, then we'll proceed further with respect to explicit type conversion, because there is no much details need to be discussed with respect to a implicit type conversion. Shall we see the points which has been written on the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What a question. Tarun, are you listening whatever I am saying? Implicit type conversion means system itself will do. When I have shown you the example, wrote the things on that. Can you see the example? I said this one is an implicit type conversion. Implicit type conversion means 10 is an integer, but you are putting that one into a float x. Data types are different. 10 is an integer. You are putting that one into a x. I said this is a valid. You can put a some 10 into a x. That will be taken as a 10.000. Right? System itself will be giving you a functionality to put a smaller value into a bigger space. You can fill your 2-liter bottle with a 50 ml of a water, no problem, right? 2 liter of a water bottle using a 50 ml of a water, no problem, right? So that is implicit type conversion. Explicit type conversion. Now you have a 2 liter of water that you need to put into a 50 ml, so means 500 ml of a bottle. 2 liter of water is there that you have to put into a 500 ml of a bottle. Can it be possible? Not possible. How much you can pour? You can just pour a 500 ml. Another 1.5 liter will be a waste, right? Here what I am saying is, let it be a 2 liter, no problem, but I want to put into a half liter bottle only, right? So now you will be removed with that fraction part. That means 1.5 liter will be remaining for you. Here I am agreeing that even if you have a bigger value, I am okay. Whatever is a possible, put into a smaller space. This is explicit type conversion. I have a bigger value using a smaller container. I am okay with that particular problem. If you are not writing this particular int here, if you try to run a program, then it will kick you saying that you have a some 20.5 that is of a floating point. Why you are putting that one into an integer? System will kick you. Now what I'm saying is, I have a sense that that is a bigger value, but my intention is to put that particular bigger value into a only. That means an integer only. Now system will say that, okay, you know the problem, right? So no problem for me also. I can easily put that particular bigger value into a smaller value, leaving out whatever is not possible to put. Hope clear with the implicit means implicit and explicit now. The two types means when one type of a data is assigned to another type of a variable, an automatic type conversion will take place in the following two scenarios are met. If following two scenarios are met. First one, two types are compatible. It should be compatible. That means a Boolean value you cannot put into integer, right? Means two types should be compatible. You can put a float into int, no problem. Explicit type conversion, right? The destination type is larger than the source type. Now we are talking about the implicit type conversion. That means a destination type, whichever you are saying, that should be large enough to have a content from the source type, right? There are no automatic conversions from a numeric types to char or boolean, right? If you are giving some number, it cannot be converted to a char or a boolean. You don't have a type conversions for that, right? You cannot say some you give some number like 85 and tell that you put that this one into char. After taking that particular 85, it will not convert that one to ASCII, right? If you are giving some value, then internally it might be storing as an integer, but cursor cannot be done. Okay, and also your char and a boolean are not compatible with each other, right? You cannot convert any char to a boolean type, or you cannot convert any boolean type to a char also. Implicit type conversion can be called as widening conversion. I have already shown you an example also why it is called as a widening conversion. Explicit type conversion may result in losing the data, so it can be called as narrowing conversion, right? As you are losing the data, so this will be called as narrowing conversion, right? Explicit type conversion, if you want to do, then you need to specify what target type you have to choose. Then you need to specify which value you want to convert to that particular target type, right? Any questions with respect to these points which I have displayed? If you don't have a question, we have to discuss some important aspects with respect to explicit type conversion. Okay. If the integer value is larger than the range of a byte, please listen to this particular statement carefully. If you are able to understand, then that will be a very fantastic thing. If not, we will see an example of this, right? What the statement is saying is, this is again purely with respect to explicit type conversion, right? So we will go through the point clearly first. If the integer's value is larger than the range of a byte, right, it will be reduced to the modulo. I think you know how the modulo operation will work. It will be reduced to modulo, that is the remainder of an integer division by that particular means range, right? So the answer, that means if you are crossing the range of a byte, then the answer will be the modulus operation performed on that particular range. So what we have said is, if you have some variable called a byte is equal to b, initially if I'm taking a 127, is it that particular 127, is it within the range of a byte? What is the range of a byte? 8 bits. 8 bits in the sense 256 possible values. 256 possible values in the sense minus 128 to plus 127, right? Let me write so that it will be a clear idea. Byte in the sense 8 bit. When it is a 8 bit, the range will be of means the possible values will be a 256 possible values. When you are saying a 256 possible values, in the sense it will be from a minus 128 to plus 127. This will be the range of a byte, right? So I'm giving a 127, it's a feasible value. Now if I run the program, it has to show me the output as a 127 only, right? As because that is the possible range for a byte, right? So let us just cross check, does a function, so means program is working fine or not. Desktop / java c typecast demo.java works fine with no errors. I'll answer questions once I finish this. Yes, 127 is valid now. It is printing that particular value. Now suppose I have changed the value of a 127 to a 128. Is it within the range of a byte?
No, sir.
It is not in the range of byte. What will be the answer at this particular point? We'll see. It should show some error, right? So what is the error that it is showing? It is saying that possibly lossy conversion from into 2 byte. It is saying that you might be interested to so means you might have a interested in putting some byte value itself, but you are crossing that particular range. So 128 now it is going to consider as an integer value. So it is saying that integer value you are trying to put into a byte. Clear? Previous also it was a 127. 127 means it might have thought that it is also integer, but even though if it is an integer that was within a range, so it has a directly assigned that particular 127 into a b, so the same b value has been printed previously. Now you are crossing that particular byte range, so 128 now it is saying that is you might be thinking that integer value you want to put into a byte, so it is showing a error, right? Now what I will tell to a compiler is, yes, I am aware that this particular 128 is integer itself, but put that one into a byte by converting that one to a byte, right? Can you imagine whatever the things I have told now? 128, yeah, system is considering it as an integer, right? Even though if you consider it as an integer, now convert that one to a byte and put that value into a b. Clear? Shall we check what will be the answer? I hope a command prompt is visible. Yes. Compiled well. See, previously it was showing error. Now after explicitly typecasting, it is not showing any error. Now what a value it is printing? It is printing minus 128. Right? We'll increase its value by one more and just a cross check. 128 I don't want, 129 I'll take. Minus 127 means when you are increasing a value, is it going to consider the values as a negatives and a printing? Minus 128 is within a range of a byte itself, right? Minus 128 is within a range of a byte. Next is a minus 127, even that is in the range of a byte. Next, if I am incrementing, then it will be taking a 126 minus, even that is in the range, right? So now what I mean to say is the range of a values with respect to byte were 256. That means till 128 all the values it will consider as a positive. If you are giving a higher values than 128, it will consider all those values as a negative, because its range is 256 values. Understanding? Now if I am giving a more than 256, if I am giving more than 256, then what we have said, it will be performing a modulus operation on these, right, with respect to the range of a byte. What is the range of a byte? 256 is the maximum values that it can hold. Now it will be performing a modulus operation on 256 and 257. What will be the remainder?
1.
So if I execute my program now, for the value of a 257, the output should show as a 1. Is it
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Keep a point clear in a mind when you are when we are working with respect to a bytes. If you are giving us some integer value and told it to convert to a byte, because we are talking about explicit type conversion, right? When you are giving an integer value and telling explicitly to convert it into a byte, if it is within the range, right, then the value will be printed. if it is not within the range, when we are saying a within a range means we are talking about a 256. When it is not within the range, it will perform a modulus operation on that. Whatever is the remainder, that will be displayed. Now look at into the program for a minute. I will be displaying the output also in the side. This is the output and that is a program. We have done so many different changes with respect to the same program. Meanwhile, I'll take a few questions from a chat box. Again, don't post questions privately. Sir, as in explicit casting, we know we cannot recover the lost data, but is there any way to recover it? Any way in the sense you have to use a larger data type. Yeah, that only. You have to see, if you are comfortable with a loss in a data, then only you have to go with the explicit type conversion. If you are not comfortable with the loss in data, you should not go for a explicit type conversion. Example, I'll tell you. Real world scenario where you will be using this particular typecasting. Explicit typecasting. Say for example, you have designed some web application, right? So some registration form is there. In a registration form, you have a two columns. One is you will be having a two columns. One column is it is expecting your date of birth. One column. There is another column which is displaying the age, right? Once you choose your date of birth, right, can it calculate your age? Right now, your age, can it be displayed how many number of years followed by months followed by days, right? It can say something like, if I'm choosing my date of birth today, so it might be calculating like my age is some 28 followed by 4 months followed by some 15 days, right? But in age column, my interest is not to display all those things, month and days. My interest is only to put the age, right? Now I am comfortable in losing that particular number of months and a number of days because my requirement is different. If a requirement is everything, like a month also need to be considered, days also need to be considered, then you should have a big column so that it will fit all the values, right? Hope that particular example gave some sense. It is up to the requirement how you want to use the values. If you are okay with the if you are okay with the loss in a data, then only you have to go with the explicit type conversion. If you are not required, so means you are not interested to lose even a fraction of a precision, then you should never go to an explicit type conversion. You have to choose a possible bigger data type to perform the action. Right? So I hope now this particular point, whatever we have said with respect to a byte, that is clear. Okay. If a integer values is Kshitij Agarwal raised a hand. Any questions?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So this byte conversion is like valid only for a certain range, right? Like example, it runs in a cyclic manner. Like if we are giving an input more than integer value of 128, it will return to the original, like to the starting value, which is minus 128.
Yes.
And if we are giving a value more than 256, it will give a positive value only between 256 and 383 because 256 plus 127 is
128.
388.
Yes.
And if we give more than 384, for example, if you're giving 384, it will return as minus 128 because it is going out of range.
Yes.
This is true, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
That is what I told. Like so means within it will be checking every time like whether it is within a range or not. So now with respect to a byte, if I'm saying a range means it will be from a minus 128 to a plus 127. So it will be rounding a circle with respect to those values. If you are crossing that particular circle, if you are crossing a 256, then it will be considering the positive, then the negative. 128 a positive values, then again back to a 128 negative values.
Thank you,
Like
sir.
that. So that was with respect to a change in a bytes, right? When a floating point value is assigned to an integer, this I have told you already, type truncation will occur. Type truncation in the sense your fraction value will be discarded, only integer value will be put into that particular int, right? So hope all these points which I have displayed here were clear. Okay. Automatic type promotion in expressions, right? If you know what exactly is a normal typecasting, that is a explicit typecasting and implicit typecasting, it will not be that much tough to understand this particular type promotion in an expression. Type promotion in the expression in the sense, say for example, in one particular expression, say for example, you want to perform a into B into C. In that A into B into C, consider that A and B are byte values and C is the integer value, right? When you are performing a multiplication, what it will do is, whichever is the highest data type, to that particular highest data type, all other values will be taken. Type, so means type promotion in an expression. That means this process will be done automatically. Promotion. Clear? Shall we see the points? In an expression, the precision required for that value will sometimes exceed the range of either operand, right? If you are doing A and B, okay, so you got some value with respect to A and B, so that might be crossing. Say for example, if you want to perform a 50 into 40, 50 is a normal valid byte value and 40 is also a normal byte valid value. When you are doing a 50 into 40, then obviously it will be a 200. 200 in the sense, are you crossing the range of a byte? When you are crossing the range of a byte, will it consider it as an integer only? Right? So that is what it has been said. The precision required for an intermediate value will sometimes exceed the range of an either operand. Example. The result of the intermediate term A into B, because of first multiplication will be done, so it will be performing a into B, that is a 50 into 40, actually exceeds the range of either of its byte operands. That means either of its byte operand in the sense one operand is a 40 and another operand is a 50. It is crossing either of these particular operands, right? Java automatically promotes each byte, short or a char operand to a int when evaluating an expression, right? So what it will do is, whenever you have an expression, if these things are there, then it will be promoted to a integer value, right? This means that the sub expression which is A into B is performed using integers, right? Not bytes. That means when you have this particular operation need to be done, it will be automatically promoted to a integer as a 40. It will be considering this particular 40 as an integer only, and it will be considering this particular 50 as an integer only. Automatic promotion will be done in case of expressions, right? In the case of expressions, automatic promotion will be done, right? Be clear with the point. In a case of expression, automatic promotion will be done to the integers. Thus 2000 is the answer. The result of an intermediate expression, so means that is the result of your intermediate expression. So 50 into 40 is legal even though A and B are both specified as a type byte. Does it make any sense? Understood? I'll write a small example. I'll just modify this particular example. You have to just guess what might be the output of this particular thing, right? I will write something like, I'll just declare a byte b. Okay. I will say the new value of a byte is equal to the previous value of a byte. I have not initialized anything into a byte. Let me initialize this particular value as a sum 2. 2 is a valid byte value, right? I will perform 2 into 2. Right? What will be the output of this one? You just keep in mind what is your expectation you have in your mind, and let us compile and check whether shall we just guess what might be the output of this particular thing. Initially the value of a b is equal to 2. Is it within the range of a byte? It's within the range of a byte. Now you are performing a b into 2. Is it within the range of a byte? Yes, obviously we are doing a 2 into 2 itself, right? So what might be the answer? 4.
4.
Is it within the range of a byte?
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes. So now it should print a 4 for us, right?
Yes,
Shall we cross check? Will it print a 4 for us? What happened? Why it is showing an error? Two into 2 is 4. Why this thing is showing an error? Incompatible types, possibly lose conversion from int to byte. Where we have a int, where we have a byte. Can you guess what has happened actually internally? What has been done is, okay, 2 you are assigning to a byte. No problem. When you are assigning this one to a byte, obviously that is within the range, so 2 will be accepted by this particular b. No problem in that. When it is doing a multiplication, who told you that you are talking about byte only with respect to this 2? Did you understand my question? Instead of a 2, let us take a 3. Why it should be confusing with respect to first 2 and the second 2? What I'm saying is, you have just written a 3, right? How you expected that 3 will be considered as a byte? Here you are assigning to a b, so it is doing a internal typecasting, internal type conversion, right? Now 2 has been taken as a byte. But in a second case, when you are multiplying by a 3, you didn't say that this particular 3 is of a type byte. How you decided that this particular 3, which is basically of a number, which is basically of an integer, how it will be, how you expected that it will be converted to a byte, right? Now if I analyze this particular statement, this is the multiplication between byte and the int. B is of a byte type, and the next value whatever you have specified, it is not of a byte type because you have not explicitly said that that is a byte. So it will consider it as an int. Then if it is performing a multiplication with respect to a byte and an int, which is having a greatest space, means which data type is a bigger? Obviously int data type will be a bigger. So the answer for this particular expression, whatever you are getting, that is a 2 into 3, which is a 6, it will be of a int itself, cannot be a byte. Understood? Right? Now if I want to say that whatever a 3, you compiler, whatever a 3 you have considered it as a int, don't consider it as a int, I thought that is of a type byte only, right? Then what you have to do is, if you want to get answer as a 6, then explicitly typecast this particular 3 to the byte, right? When you explicitly typecast this particular 3 to the byte, then answer will be a multiplication of byte with byte. Correct? Shall we cross check? In this case, will it print a 6 for us or not?
Eko, sir.
Incompatible types. Byte into byte. I told to consider it as a byte itself, right? So then why it is not considering? Huh. Let us do like this. Typecast here. Whatever the answer you get, that complete answer you consider as a byte. Why is promoting? One second, let me just check how it is promoting things. Not assign an int to a byte. Okay. Complete expression and just complete expression. Now it will work. Hope the concept and a point which I was displayed on my PPT is clear. B star is equal to 3 like this.
Yeah.
See, if you are writing a B star is equal to 2, then obviously internally it will be considering it as a B is equal to B into 2.
Yeah, so it prints 4.
Yeah, that only I'm telling you. If that is the case, when it performs a multiplication, the multiplication will be with respect to a byte and a integer. So it will give you a error saying that incompatible types.
No, sir, it gives correct output.
It gives a correct output.
Yeah, we can check it.
Okay, let me check. Internal assignment. So means shorthand assignment. Dan, actually, whatever you have said, I never cross-checked. Like means whether that is possible or not. I never wrote an expression something like that and checked. This will be the first time which I'm checking. Even it works also, no problem. But our discussion was with respect to expression. Just cross-check. Nice. It is doing all those stuff internally.
Yeah.
Okay. Then where you, so means how you came to know this particular thing?
No, just I tried it.
Okay, sure. So if you are doing the shorthand notation, it is implicitly converting that particular operation to a byte. Very good point. Right? So the last slide with respect to a type conversion and a casting, there are some promotion rules and there is a simple example. If you understood whatever we have discussed till now, and this particular example will just summarize whatever the things we have discussed until now. Right? Any questions with respect to a type conversion and a casting? Hope this here we have seen means lot more examples, and the intention of showing all those examples is to make you a concept clear but not to confuse. Thanks for your time. Have a nice day. Thanks for asking us some beautiful questions and maintaining interaction in the class.